Alright, should be recording if we're lucky. So, Linux video, I think. Um, yeah, the update on the problem. So, nothing's fixed it, but hopefully I can make it manageable. So, as long as I don't lose disk space, I'm not going to panic. If I have to do a little extra just to make sure the files are deleted before the system boots. So, that got me thinking about batch files, in the old days in, MS-DOS and such. And I wonder if Linux has a version of batch files that you could just put in the auto loader and just have them load every time the system boots and just have it delete the stupid files. And maybe that would be a solution. But, I haven't gone searching for that. So the other thing I mentioned that I'm still looking for and I couldn't find a good answer to was this context menu, that opens. And, in the old version, you were able to load the start menu, essentially, whatever you want to call it, the menu, would also be on here, so you could just go through the application list and find, a bit of software that you don't use too much and without having to go to the start menu. Which, isn't the end of the world, but, just was a little bit kind of convenient. I'd like to do that. Or I'd like to even add other things on here. But this whole Nemo thing is way too complicated. I just figure there's got to be somebody who has this stuff, like, already in cut and paste form or something. Because I don't want to learn all this shit. So anyway, it's just something. If somebody, I just can't get to. All I can get to is putting other crap on there, except for the start menu. So there's lots of pages that explain how to put other crap on there, except the crap I want to put on there. So anyway, just if anybody has that knowledge handy. So I did this. Get rid of the having to sign. Punch in your password to do shit. This is supposed to get rid of it, typing all password all thingy, and it just didn't work. I mean, it's there. I've rechecked the file. Yeah, I love this transparency thing, by the way. Yeah, no, I'll get rid of it. So anyway, I do have GUV whatever it is view running, and the frame rate's really not bad. So I'm hoping I can do live rooms with this. And I have, again, simple screen recorder, which is an unreviewed program, which just seems bizarre to me since it's pretty good. I don't know how nobody could say something. So I'll say something when I eventually know it works without killing my hard drive. But anyway, yeah, it's a good program. Yeah. So anyway, so anything else? I got to bitch about. Yeah, so anyway, so the password thing didn't work, so I'll move on to the next thing. Yeah, super users D. I guess it's a config file that you can't just access. Because I don't know where to find that, actually. So I'd rather not do it through terminal if I could. But I think you can't edit it. I think you can only edit it in terminal. I'm not sure. But anyway. Alright, so this is other stuff. 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 Oh, yes, a lot of other stuff. Okay, that's other stuff. Okay, as of about now, processor speeds are. You should start an added process in your workflow. So these people talk this stuff, and I'm like, well, why do I need another process in my workflow? This doesn't sound like a good idea. Of a virtual machine. Why do I need a virtual machine? I really don't want to run 15 versions of the same thing. I mean, I might do the Wine thing just so I can run some old Windows programs, but, if it ain't broke, don't fix it directly. Well, it is broke. It's the whole problem. So you're not getting this. E.g., whatever. Not much to learn in the interim except for regular instant snapshots. I don't know what that means. For virtual machine tinkering with upgrades. So that's supposed to mean something to me. Not even close. there is little in the way of bugs like that, which can manifest at any given time of an update. Again, it wasn't an update. It's the same problem happened in, Mint 18, and it happened then in Mint 19. Terabytes, not giga. Well, whatever. I don't think so. I'm not really streaming. I'm just recording videos most of the time. Streaming will run huge temp directories. I don't know if it needs to. In part, your webcam's firmware is to blame for bloat. Your opinion. Check its setting for compression on the fly. And how exactly do you do that? It's not that easy to even get software that gets to the settings. So, thanks, but, I don't think so. Alright, YouTube fucks up my comment due to auto-formatting. Yeah, I know. So anyway, so this was the stuff. So I did do that stuff. It's just stuff. It's just the same old crap of punching in this stuff. But what I'd like to do is have some kind of even if I can just, I don't know all these stupid terminal commands, but I imagine deleting files is fairly simple. So all I have to do is have some kind of commands, a row of them, or one string of them, that will just, when I boot up, I can just pop it into terminal, hit the button, and it'll delete the files. It'd be a little easier than opening the temp directory and deleting the files. Probably be easier. So anyway, so I have done this stuff. I don't know if it's going to be doing anything, but I have done it. And so far, I don't have any leakage, but I'm also pretty conscientious about deleting the files. So, anyway, thanks. Appreciate it. Really hate the icon in the name, though. I don't get it. So, you're a religious kook? And you're watching my videos? Bizarre. Alright. So this guy says, I couldn't replicate the system private folder problem on Debian on my computer. Debian. Something like that. I have and Volkscreen. Yeah, Volkscreen is good, but the advantage that this GR's whatever view thing he has is that you can run it and have both cameras and get both cameras to work. You just run another version of it, and more than one camera to work, and you have very good settings menu, and if you fiddle with it, a couple little tricks, you can get the frame rate up. Somebody mentioned that, but it's not in here. Where's the frame rate part? Well, I guess this guy did the frame rate part. We'll see. I have run them before, but haven't used them much. There are 3 empty folders on my temp folder. Yeah, I have 4. I looked at how much free space there was on the hard drive and then recorded with the screen recorder and Voltscreen for 30 minutes. After deleting the video files, the hard drive space was the same as before recording. Yeah, well, that's the trick of it. I wouldn't be, I'd be fine. Like, I would use the software, everything would be fine, and I wasn't noticing. But after I was done, my hard drive was disappearing. So it was just, it wasn't while I was making videos I was losing hard drive space. It was while I was just on the computer. So that was the part that just made it unacceptable. It was just like, well, what, any moment my hard drive's going to disappear? And it was really bad in the one computer because it went all the way down to nothing. Absolutely zero. And so I couldn't even, the computer just stopped working. And it was like, it was catastrophic. I'm deleting files as fast as I can just so I can keep the damn computer working enough to be able to reboot it and fix it. So anyway, so I guess that was it. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to mention? So yeah, I want to do this batch file thing. The other thing that really pisses me off is that whole grub crap. I did this before. I just want to copy the partition somewhere. And I know it's a bootable partition, right? So, okay, I load Linux in some other version of it. So nothing's mounted, right? So the partition I'm moving and the partition I want to move it to are neither one are mounted. So I just want to move it. But if it's on a partition that's active when I boot, that I move it to, then there's some sort of conflict and it ends up booting to the one I moved instead of booting to the one on the, I have an SSD drive. It's like, and so then everything got fucked up and the grub didn't work at all, and I had to go through that whole grub failure thing, whatever they call that, rescue, that doesn't really rescue anything. And, that's just a nightmare. And then once you rescue it, you're still not saved because you still have to put a load grub and then upload. You still have to fix it. Wasted a couple hours on that mistake. So I guess so then I just said, well, images. I should be able to make an image file. Nothing works. So they have a software that's called Disk. Yeah, this is Disk. Yeah, I think this is it. And it looks really nice, and it says here that you can do things. It has a little menu. It says make image file. Create disk image. Fuck it, no way. It won't do it. I don't know why it says make disk image, because it will not make an image of even an unmounted disk. It just won't do it. I mean, I had a hard drive with 300 gigs of space on it. Still wouldn't put the image on. Nothing. This is the kind of crap that Linux should have down solid, and it's really unsolid. It's just sort of irritating, because that would be the simple solution, is just have a disk image, pop it on another hard drive. Everything goes wrong, you just make a partition, load the image, and now you're set. But instead, I have to put the partition on another hard drive that I'm not ever going to use until I need it for a backup. Because if I put it on the computer and it's available, the grub thing is going to fuck it all up. So anyway, just complaining, I guess. Just because, this thing works so well at so much stuff, and yet this simple stuff, it sucks at. Like I said, batch files, this should be like, I can just put a bunch of commands in, you do them in order. What's the big deal? This should be like automatic. All this fucking typing in terminal, who the hell wants to do all that shit? Not me. I don't know how anybody would want to do that. You want some kind of way where you can just cut and paste a bunch of code and run the file. What's all this bullshit, this terminal shit? Anyway, one typo, it's in the whole, everything you typed is garbage. It really is a pretty unsatisfactory method of communicating with the computer. So is there anything else I need to complain about? No, that's it for now. We'll look and see. Hard drive is still good. Yeah, yep, still good. Still good. Alright, anyway. So, I think that's it. See, the other good thing about this software is you can pause it, which I'll do right now just for fun. See, isn't that cool? And, so for sometimes when making videos, it's nice to have that ability to say some shit and then walk away and then say some shit. I imagine it's a good feature. I haven't really been able to figure out how to make the most out of that yet, but it sort of makes sense to me that that's a good feature. So, I have to get to it. Alright, so thanks. Just a general video. I really appreciate the people who've helped out. It's been helpful, so thank you. Mostly. But yeah, Linux. I just can't believe 1 million people is using this stuff. If 1 million people are using this, why isn't there more communication? There's just absolutely nothing. The message boards are like, this is a closed subject. We already solved this. What do you mean you solved it? You didn't solve anything. What are you talking about? You solved it. Your answer sucks. That's my impression anyway. You read the message boards and it's just hilarious. It's like, you ask a simple question, you get a preposterously complex answer, and you say, what, you can't do any better than that? And they say, subject closed. Oh, I don't know. Kind of fucktardy as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, test video, really. So, till next time.